friends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with the About series. Round of applause for me. May is the Mental Health Awareness Month in the US. I'm not American in any way, but I want to take part because I follow a lot of American people and they talk about this month. I haven't been confident enough to take part and post about stuff, but here I am right now, and today's video will start my Mental Health Awareness Month. If you didn't watch the about minute-long introduction video that I posted, I'm gonna link it here. Shortly, what I said in that video is that in May, I will be only posting mental health related videos, and today I am just gonna kind of do more of a introduction video into mental health, and I'll be touching the subject of mental illnesses being a very big taboo. Those are kind of the topics of this video. I hope you're excited, and let's just get into it because I have a lot to talk about. As usual, I will start the video with the definition of the topic of this video. So mental health. How the World Health Organization defines mental health is that it's a state of well-being in which every individual can realize their own potential and can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively, and is able to make a contribution to their community. So that is how the World Health Organization, a very legit source, defines mental health. But I also found a very good sentence on Wikipedia that I think has to be put here. Cultural differences, subjective assessments, and competing professional theories all affect how one defines mental health, which is very true. And the levels of how able people are to do the things, for example, coping with normal stresses of life or working productively, they all vary because no mind is the same. You can never see from how someone looks, are they struggling? Are they going through difficult times? Are they having the best time of their life? Because people who are struggling can put on makeup and look gorgeous and go to work and still struggle a lot. You can never just assume someone is feeling some type of way just by the way they look, and how productive they are or how much they're doing does not tell. It tells something about how they're doing, but that doesn't tell everything, because some people, like me, are just going, even if we might be struggling and going through things. I've noticed that I'm already talking about struggling and negative things, even though mental health is a positive thing, the same way as your physical health is a positive thing. Health is positive. Why, when we talk about mental health, we're always just looking at the negative things? I can't blame you for doing that if you did that, because I'm doing the same thing. But the thing with mental health is that all of us have it. Even if you're doing well, which is amazing and I hope you are, your mental health is at some state. And your mental health is there always. It doesn't suddenly exist when you're doing unwell, which I think is a massive thing that we very often miss. But we might take it for granted a lot. Your mental health can change throughout your life, and it probably will if I'm being honest, which I'm gonna be because this is my channel and I'm always honest with you. Even if your emotional awareness, life, interpersonal, and problem-solving skills are good, there is always external things that affect your mental health, such as changes, relationships, loss, crisis, addiction, pressure from society, and a lot of our other things that we can't do anything about. Our careers are evolving and our families are changing and we're losing family members, and we can't do nothing about that. And the changes can be good, like you can get into the university of your dreams, or you can be pregnant, or you can get married, and that positive change can also trigger something that makes your mental health go, whoa, what is happening? Okay, now I'm struggling. It's not a bad thing that your mental health changes, because we're human. That happens to all of us and it's okay. And you shouldn't blame yourself for feeling bad, ever. Sometimes there is no reason. Sometimes there is reasons, but sometimes there isn't. Yeah, that thought just came from somewhere, and I just wanted to say that quickly because we were talking about reasons why someone might be feeling down or really hectic or stressed. But sometimes there is no reasons. But then there's things like confidence and positive thinking and healthy relationships that are told to be, and I can say from my own experience that they are big key factors in good, stable mental health. Stable. I meant stable. But sometimes being hopeful and positive and sure that everything will be okay, being sure that you're loved, is not easy. I'm known to be a very positive person, and people ask me, how are you so positive and how are you so happy? But I'm not always this positive and this happy. I try to be because I know it's good for me. I've tried to cut toxic people out of my life. I've been improving with my confidence. Those things, they make me feel good, so I try to embrace them in my life. But sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it's really, really difficult to believe that my absolutely amazing angelic friends want to be with me, because I'm just this weird person whose mind is a messy, naughty mess. Why? Sometimes it's really freaking difficult, but trying to be positive and trying to believe your friends and trying to believe the good things that you hear in your mind, that is already a big thing you can do. It's a massive step forward. Sometimes struggles stay as struggles, but sometimes it might be too much, and the struggles don't stay as struggles and they lead to illnesses. And this is so much more common than you could ever imagine. I'm gonna read this from my notebook. Half of the world's population are affected by mental illness, with an impact on their self-esteem, relationship, and ability to function in everyday life. Half of the population. Half! Thanks, World Health Organization, for this suggestion. I'm wondering even more, why are we so ashamed of talking about mental illnesses and mental health? Because half of the population on this planet are suffering from mental illnesses. World Health Organization is a very legit resource. The evidence that they had gathered led to this conclusion. I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. Like, seriously. Also, since forever, I've known that here in my home country, Finland, depression is one of the biggest national chronic illnesses. If I remember right, every fifth person here in Finland, every fifth Finn has depression at some point. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of the statistics. But is it surprising? I don't think it is, because every fifth person in this country suffers from it at some point in their lives. It is so common, but still we're so ashamed. We are told to just shut up about it. And it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. The only reason why it might be surprising is because this has been a taboo since when it wasn't. When mental health and mental illnesses weren't a taboo. I think we have never talked about mental health like we talk about our physical health. And this makes me sad, and it makes me so angry, because what happens here is more important than what happens here. You might be suffering from a horrible physical condition, an illness that might make you unable to move. But if your mental health is stable and good, you're still able to live a happy life. But I have to say, I can see where this comes from. And there is one word that explains a lot of this: history. Yeah, when mental illnesses are thought to be demonic possessions or displeasure from gods, it's never a good start for anything. I have to look at my notes here, but the first big leap forward with the mental health stuff was in 400 before Christ, thanks to Hippocrates, for beginning to treat mental illnesses as, I can't read my notes, but basically he started treating them as diseases rather than displeasure from gods, which is a great thing. Oh, but still from that, it has been a rocky road. It has been a rocky road for mental illnesses and mental health. For example, in the Middle Ages, the mentally ill were thought to be witches, and they've been isolated from society, treated horribly and inhumanly throughout history. It's been very recently that things have started to change when it comes to mental illnesses and treating mental illnesses and talking about mental health. And when I say very recently, I mean very freaking recently. Thank God in many countries the mentally ill are not put into dungeons and they're not electroshocked or sterilized, because that's what was still happening not even 100 years ago. Like, that is how recently we are talking about right now. All those things, such as electroshocking or sterilizing people or lobotomy, those and a ton a ton and ton of other absolutely shocking, horrible, evil, and inhuman things were done to people who had mental illnesses. And even though the times are not like that anymore and we're in 2019 and not 1930, we still seem to think in the ways that the past and the people in the past taught us. Like, why the hell are we still asking and wondering, like, am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? Like, no, honey, you are not crazy. You are not what you're going through. You are not your depression. You're not your anxiety. You're not your eating disorder or your addiction. You are not that. It is just something you're going through. One of my dearest, bestest friends taught me this. She still, when I happen to say I'm depressed, corrects me and says, no, Vilma, you're not depressed. You have depression. And I think that is absolutely freaking right. Like, imagine people with cancer or diabetes. They don't say that they are their illness. They say they have cancer or they have diabetes. So why people with mental illnesses say that they are their illnesses when they're not? And the reason why I'm putting cancer and diabetes here next to mental illnesses such as depression is because in Finland, diabetes and depression and cancer and heart disease, those are all national chronic illnesses. And the way type 2 diabetes or cancers, different kind of cancers can be cured, so can mental illnesses. There is medication and therapy and different ways to improve your mental health and help you get over with the mental illness you have. And also the way diabetes and heart diseases and even cancers can be avoided, mental illnesses can be avoided as well. Even if there is like more chances to be exposed to mental illnesses in your family, you can still do things to prevent that. We try to prevent ourselves from getting flus and different fevers. Why aren't we doing the same for our minds? Because our minds shouldn't be ill either. The number one advice I can give you here is that talking to people such as your friends and family or professionals, it is so helpful and it has a huge effect. And even if your mental health is good right now, that is when we should start avoiding the rocky roads. So if there's anything that burdens your mind or weighs you down, you should talk about it, because that way you can prevent yourself from future struggles, because you don't want that. You do not want that. I could have started earlier. I could have reached for help earlier, but I was scared, so I didn't. But then I was so done with it that I just did that, and it was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made because it has helped me so much. What I've written here is that I thought it would be weird and I'd feel crazy talking to someone, but talking to someone has helped me so much. I wouldn't be here without help. Jesus Christ, I'm filming a video about a very vulnerable topic, but I'm not feeling vulnerable. I'm feeling strong. The things I'm battling with and the things that I battled with are not me. Those are not me. They're just something I'm going through and something that I've gone through. The shell of ignorance and being quiet about these things is strong and thick, especially amongst men, which makes me so sad and angry. But as cliche as it sounds, we are the people who are shaping the future and the world we live in. We can decide what the world will be like for us later and for the people in the future. The world I want to be a part of is a world where we can talk about these things more openly without it being a taboo. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about these things online in this video. And I hope you found it interesting. I am very grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you guys very much and I can't wait to see you next Sunday. Bye!